Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have Natasja with me and she's going to talk about resumes and how to get easily selected in companies and everything. But because she is working with ODC at the moment and she is a talent acquisition consultant at ODC, so it will be very exciting video to shoot with her today, and as well as it will be informative for you guys to have a look at it as well. So let's get into the video.
Yeah.
So Natasja, tell me about your background. How did you get into this field?
So I started off graduating and working in sound engineering. So it's really different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that typical kind of thing where you kind of fall into recruitment, kind of loads of recruitment consultants.
Yeah.
So I started recruiting for audio companies and then moved into IT and been in IT development for 3 years now.
And did you move to Australia recently?
I did a year ago.
Oh yeah, because I remember us having conversation
Yeah,
at that time. So awesome. Yeah. So let's get into the resume bit straight away. And I want to ask you is how important is the resume and cover letters?
I can't remember the last time I read a cover letter, honestly.
Yeah,
I think
right.
as long as you're kind of up to the point in your CV, that'll do the talking for you. I haven't looked at this cover letter in a long time, so I'd say avoid that. You don't need to do that. Just make sure you bulked out your CV and got all that relevant information in.
Yeah, so do you think that applying to the company, like applying to ODC is the direct way, has higher chances of getting selected over through recruiter?
Well, we get all the applications directly. So we'll get your CV through straight away. We'll look through and we'll get feedback to you in a couple of days max. So you can apply directly. We do use recruitment agencies, not so much at the moment. But yeah, either way, we look at CVs.
Yeah, cool. Because I always, every time I have got job, is through me applying directly at the company, and it has been very tedious process whenever I have gone through recruiters, honestly.
Yeah.
So
it depends on the recruiter. I think with the industry, you hear about bad recruiters, but you've also got some really good ones. So it depends on the agency that you work with. I guess for companies like us and probably numerous other tech companies there is a fee you have to pay when you're going through an agency.
Okay.
So that's why companies sometimes choose not to use agencies. But when you can, apply direct.
Okay, cool. What makes the CV stand out? Like you must be getting like 10,000 applications a year.
Go through a lot, but I think what makes people stand out is just like putting your personality in the CV.
Okay.
So just giving some enthusiasm behind what you're writing about and kind of showing yourself, showing your personality a little bit, because like you said, we go through so many and so many are in the same format, and it's just kind of a breath of fresh air to read something a little different.
Okay.
And also, don't be afraid to sell yourself a little bit. List all your achievements that you're proud of, and the work and projects that you've done that you're proud of. I think that's definitely another thing.
I'm one of those people who will always get critics in office that you need to shout out about the things you do, and I always prefer to keep it quiet. And
it's so important. Definitely. Yeah.
What is the main things you see in those resumes? Like, do you ever look at the overview where they say that what is my objective of becoming a programmer?
Depends what your objective. Yeah, it depends what you write, I suppose. But if you've got no commercial experience to show what you've already been doing, it can be quite hard to read from your CV without having that summary what you actually want to go into.
Yeah.
So having a bit at the top saying what you're looking to go into and kind of the skills you've developed around that, definitely you can write something like that.
Yeah, and also I noticed that whenever I didn't have my project links, like Play Store links and all these things, people used to ask me that can you provide me the projects you have worked on, the links of that project which are live on Play Store, so we can download and play around and have a look, so we are ready during the interview that this is what you have built and we have some questions on
Yeah.
that app. So
Yeah, if you upload your code to GitHub and it's viewed before the interview, like you were saying, and then you can have questions to talk about it. This kind of cuts out time of having to do maybe a coding test before you go into an interview.
Oh, okay.
So you've already given an example of your code, and it's probably a bit more personable as well to be able to talk through what you thought you did well, what you could improve on, things like that.
Yeah, that's cool. So the next question I have, what skill set is going to be in demand in next 10 years according to you?
I reckon, I know it's already kind of started, but hiring within AI and machine learning, I think, we're still kind of exploring that area of technology. And I think that's going to be really exciting, especially in the next 10 years, to see how that progresses and what's going to come out of that.
Even chatbots,
because
it provides that machine learning data.
Yeah, it's incredible like what you can do.
Next question I have for you is, if you are new in the industry and wants to get started with job in IT, what piece of advice do you have?
Kind of a few things really. Make sure you know what you want to specialise in, be it kind of back end, front end, but I guess when applying for jobs at that point you probably already have a good idea. Also, if you have no commercial experience, upload your personal projects to GitHub. You can write a blog about the work that you do, or just start going along to meetups. These kind of involvements that you can note on your CV will show that you can do those skills even though you don't have the commercial experience yet. So I think definitely upskill yourself and get those little projects up on GitHub.
Yeah, that's very interesting because so a lot of my friends and their friends and everyone, they are like struggling to get their first break in the industry, and every time they tell me that, I always suggest them that why don't you go and do some freelancing work, and that builds your portfolio. And a good thing about Australia is that it counts your freelancing work as an experience. But the thing you said is also very interesting, because in a way, by writing blogs and everything, you are getting good with writing skills. Second, you have to have thorough knowledge for writing a blog or something, or even putting open source code on GitHub. You have to be good at it, otherwise people are gonna be commenting back to you that, hey, you made mistake in this, and that's not bad as well, but you'll learn out of it.
Exactly.
It's pretty good.
I think when you go into an interview as well, because you haven't got any of the kind of commercial code that you've worked on to show, you can show the interviewers your project code, and you can talk about why you've made the decisions you have in your code. So it's definitely a good thing to do.
Yeah, awesome. So the next question I have is it necessary to have resume anymore, or we have LinkedIn and LinkedIn recommendations? So does
I have made a few hires when I've solely looked at a LinkedIn profile. I've never had the CV from the candidate, but that's because they contained all the relevant information that I needed to know on their LinkedIn. A lot of people have blank kind of page sections of their LinkedIn and it's not kind of filled out, so that's when I will need to request a CV. So it depends. I do think
also it makes sense to LinkedIn is really good, but people who has been in the industry for a long time, for them their LinkedIn is automatically updated because they keep changing jobs and blah blah blah. So they have a good process. Like, I have been in the industry for 10 years. I have a very lengthy LinkedIn profile, but not everyone would who has like 2 or 3 years of experience, and it is good for them to have a resume, but not that, right?
I think also if you're gonna include the same amount of content as you do on a CV, it's just too much for social media to scroll through. So it's always good to have a few things listed on your LinkedIn, and I always request a CV afterwards and kind of go through that finer detail that's usually on the CV.
Because my resume is like massive lengthy.
I know.
So
I remember when people would tell me, or even ask me, "Oh, is it true? Should I keep my resume CV to 1 or 2 pages?" And now it's like, nah, you need to include all the details. So
yeah,
it will be at least a few
projects,
pages
what
long.
you
Yeah,
did in
exactly.
the project and everything. Yeah, that's true. So that's there. With the resume thingy, I had one more question. So when I write my resume, I write down my name, my contact details, my address, blah blah blah. After that, I have that how much experience I have, and that means in individual fields like say Android, then Java applications which are just backend Java, my testing experience, my deployment experience, because I do have all these things. So does it the overall 10 years experience or individually this distributed experience, which is better to have it, because I most of the times get confused that whether they want to know individual experiences of my career.
I think if it's older technologies and things like that that aren't so relevant to the work you do now, you can probably take that out. When you're talking in each role, I'd say you can highlight the strongest that you're working on, but then you can also mention the other areas that you have touched upon as well. But if you're learning technology outside of your work, definitely put that on as well, and you can mention that even though you're not using it commercially, you've been learning it in your free time, and that kind of shows that you're self-driven and passionate about what you do. So.
And when doing this filtering process for any role, do you see that if these people have been going to meetups and hackathons and all these things as well? So that's really important that you get involved in the
I think so, because not just for yourself, you're going to meet so many people and ties by going to those meetups. So you never know who you're going to meet there, be it recruiters or kind of people in the industry who could help you get your foot in the door. But also it just shows that again you're passionate about what you do and you're passionate about technology and that you're out there getting involved. So it is really important.
And I just had on top of my head, I had another question. Is for example, one of my friend who was manager at IBM back in India. When she moved to Australia, she had really hard time finding her first job. And what she did is she started with whatever she got in her hands, which was from a manager. She started with QA, test analyst, and from there, in a year or something, she got again as a manager in some other company, just because she had a local experience of Australia. So how important is the local experience, even though you have so much experience back in other countries?
I mean, coming to Australia myself, in recruitment, I don't think local experience is so important, but from working in the IT area, it definitely seems like it is something, because I guess the market's different. Maybe the way companies are run technology-wise are different, so it does seem like it is important. But saying that, we've had loads of people, we hire a lot from overseas as well, and they not necessarily have had any local experience. So I think it depends on the company, but like your friend probably saw, I mean, did she stay long in QA or?
1 year.
So, I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not too long.
Yeah,
but at least you can then step back.
Even 1 year before and to actually get started.
Oh,
which was
really?
sad.
Yeah. So I think going back to the kind of networking and your projects and things like that, I think if you're still doing that and then you move and kind of get to know the local market and the industry here, I think that would definitely help you get into a local job quicker.
So next question is, what are the common mistakes people make while applying their job or while making their resume as well?
When writing your CV, I think a really common one is spelling and grammar.
Okay.
There is spell check, so please use it. And seriously, that makes such a difference. Just go thoroughly through your CV, double check everything, maybe even get someone to read it over, and make sure all of that's correct. Tenses as well, I think it's best to use I when writing CV, first tense instead of, present tense, instead of using, you know, your name, say Natasha is a recruitment consultant, she has blah blah blah. Keep it in first tense, and I think that's
so very
better to read. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen CVs where they've changed tenses throughout the whole CV, and it's not an easy read. So better to keep it.
And it doesn't make you feel that that person has applied. It makes you feel that someone else on his behalf has applied.
Yeah, it's your CV. So
Yeah,
write it from your point of view.
Yeah. Very true. So there has been always a struggle with negotiating salary generally with the companies. What I have felt that if you are new in the country or you are a fresher, instead of negotiating a lot, just get into the job first and have 1 year of experience, even though it is way too low salary, and then go ahead. But I could be totally wrong. So what are your views about it?
No, I think you should definitely go for a salary that represents your skills and what you're worth. Don't necessarily undersell yourself just because it's your first job. You can get loads of salary advice, be it online. There's loads of websites where you can check what the kind of banding for salary is for your experience, and depending on city and skill set as well. Also, that's a really good thing that agency recruiters can help you with. So if you go to a recruitment agency and show them your CV and talk to them about your experience, they'll be able to give you a rough salary banding for what you're worth and for your skill set. So I think having that in your mind is really important when going for your first role. And
interesting, because some of my friends whom I know who are like asking me that I'm happy to work for free as well, but I just want to start. That's a bad approach then.
Yeah, you're producing work that you put time and effort in, and it's with your skill set. Don't give away your work and time for free. Definitely, like you said, mentioned before, freelancing.
Yeah.
You can freelance. You can start at a low cost and obviously improve on your experience and increasing cost. But definitely I wouldn't say give away your work for free.
Okay, that's cool. That's very opposite to what I had thought. So it's interesting. It's interesting actually, because I am learning out of it as well. So that's all I had to ask Natasja about recruitment, resumes, applying for jobs and all those things. So if you have any more questions, I'll link down Natasja's LinkedIn profile and Twitter handles along with it. So you can contact her directly, or you can comment on the video down below and you will be able to get the answers ASAP. So I'll see you around next time. Bye guys. Bye.